What is up, everybody? It's been a long time since we've done this. By a long time, I only mean probably like a month or two, right? Probably like some point before December. Been a minute though. Hey, Orc Knight. Yeah, coming out of retirement for sure. Ugh, I don't. I feel so about things, but I'm sure we'll get into that throughout this. But I needed a bit of a break. Like every year after Worlds, I'm kind of burnt out on Fab. It's just condensed a lot of Fab in a short amount of time. So I needed a bit of a break. And then it kind of lined up with things where nothing really going on for Fab that I cared about, wasn't really feeling the game. And there was a new patch for Final Fantasy 14, so I wanted to do that. There was a new raid tier that came out, so I wanted to get that done before the Pro Tour prep season kind of started. Got that done, took me a few weeks. And I also wanted to get my gear squared away because right after Worlds is the next Ultimate, and I plan on doing that when I get back from Worlds. So I want to get all that squared away. So time-wise, kind of lined up perfectly. Uh, but I'm still not feeling very fabby right now. I'm a keep it a buck. It's been very hard to motivate myself to want to make content and do shit just because I haven't I felt very apathetic towards things in Fab right now. Uh, haven't really cared for this set or what it's done, some of the decisions. I've yapped about that before on other podcasts. I don't want to make this stream about that and be a negativity stream. So I'm just going to try to push through it. And we're going to focus on reviewing these cards. Hey, Ryan, what's up? So the goal for today, as I've said, haven't really been fabbing. I've barely looked at any of the spoilers. I think I've looked at like 10% or less of the spoiled cards. So I'm not actually that familiar with the set. So we're going to do kind of a first impressions of the set, just kind of do a read through of all the cards and kind of give my thoughts on stuff. Now, you guys give me your thoughts on cards too, because I'm sure I'm going to miss interactions here. Like, I'm not going to see everything. This is the first impressions. So if you guys have any thoughts on any cards of anything that I'm missing, of any cool, interesting things with any of the cards, this is a discussion. So this is you guys' chance to say something and chime in. Is my chat not showing up on this? Where's Chrome chat? There it is. Sorry about that. If you guys need me to adjust where anything is on the stream to like the chat box or anything, let me know. I think this layout works because it's going to be kind of like this, where we're like talking about a card in the dead center. I think this will work, but if you guys want me to adjust things, just let me know. Now, before we get into things, how you guys feeling about the set? How you guys feeling about Fab? How's your Road to National seasons? Hey Smurf, what's up? I think I read your spoiler when it came out. I'm trying to remember it though. We'll just jump to that. You're here. Let's do it. So also for a structure, we're gonna do all the Majestics first, so I can kind of parse that out in my brain of what is and isn't like what is a classic constructed card and what is a sage card, because otherwise I'm gonna keep getting confused as we go through this of holy shit, this card's broken for sage, and then I just don't see the funny red letter in the corner. So for my sanity, I'm gonna do it this way. Let's jump over to the light arms though. Was it a Majestic? Is it this? Was this your spoiler? Hey Rose, what's up? Thanks. Happy to be back. Yeah, my in spite of me not really feeling fab, I still really, want to engage with the community, my friends and everyone. I can only see usernames. Is that Martin? Like my local Martin? I still want to engage with the community and everything. So like I really wasn't feeling this RTN season. I only ended up going to one single RTN all season. I just wasn't feeling it. Which I think it's important to understand when you're not feeling it and not force yourself, because that's going to create a situation where it becomes even worse for you mentally. And don't force yourself to do shit you don't want to do. But I still wanted to engage with the community, still wanted to engage with my friends. So I just judged instead. I went to two different RTNs, or an RTN and an AGE, and just judged instead because I still wanted to hang out with everyone, still wanted to, be a part of the community. So I just did that instead. Yeah, I just don't have a Nats invite because I only went to one, scrubbed out, and I was like, I just don't care, and I went home. Uh, just wasn't feeling it this season. It didn't help also that after the first week of RTN, I think I got the flu or something. So I was just like out of commission for a week and a half and then still kind of dealing with the dregs of it afterwards. Ugh. And then we had that giant blizzard in New England. It just, I was just like, man, everything is just telling me to not play Fab right now. You want an RTN on Gravy? Not feeling the ProQuest season though. Congratulations on the win on Gravy. Oh yeah, I remember your stuff. You had like this the spider webs and stuff on it and the blood. Yeah, those are sick ultras. Um I've just had your spoiler sitting on screen this whole time, haven't said anything about it. When the combat so this oh, that's interesting. It defends, but it doesn't have one of the keywords for something happens when it defends. It has its own special clause. So when the combat chain closes, if this defended, put it into your soul, AB1, block 1, light. So importantly, you can play this in Bolton also. Seems pretty reasonable. I could see these be better in a couple matchups where you're kind of soul starved or you care about the blocking break point, but you don't really want to pay one into your gloves to make a spectral shield. Still kind of does that thing of consolidating your card slots, which is nice. This is pretty good. I could see myself putting this in Prism. This is a solid, like, O-Cage card. Like, I will probably include this in my deck. Good card. Does it open up anything else interesting? Yeah, it's super O-Cage. It's not broken. It's not bad. This is like a bread and butter card. Oh my, don't even get me going on the Ranger. Oh, Jesse, you just rage baiting here. Honestly though, I don't mind you rage baiting. It's content. Yeah, oh my god. This card pissed me off also. What a meme! Every hero's gonna get supported. Literally, only wager card in the set you can't play in Betsy or Olympia. What a fucking meme! Holy shit! I hate that I'm still probably gonna end up putting this in Gravy just because we're that down horrendous for gold. we're fucking struggling at Ranger baiting. I think this card's pretty good. Okay, so let's read off the card. I know we're going completely out of order here, but whatever was on my screen and I felt like yapping about it. Who cares? It's my stream. I'll do whatever I want. Cheating Scoundrel. It is a red 3-block, 0-cost pirate non-attack action. When an attack action card you play the next attack action card you play this turn gets +3 and wager with defending hero. The winner creates a gold token. The next time you would lose a wager this turn, instead you may discard a card. If you do, you win the wager. Go again. This card's actually pretty cool because you can discard an ally to this, so you're like okay with either outcome. You get to hook no matter what because either I win the wager and I made a gold, so I got to hook, or lose the wager and I discard and I make a gold. So just kind of it's just another on-demand make a gold card. And honestly, like we're already playing like portside exchange just to be a way to discard a card and make a gold. This is just kind of red portside that also buffs something. It's a 3-block, which is pretty nice. Honestly, it being a red is a pretty big drawback though, because the nature of kind of what you're allowed to put in your deck for pitch values of you really want a very dense blue heavy deck. But I'm pretty sure this is going to end up in the deck. It's pretty reasonable. Um And we'll get to these allies and stuff later. I don't want to keep jumping around. It just happened to be on my screen, so I wanted to yap about it. I obviously have some thoughts on these Necro pirate cards. I actually haven't seen these gloves yet, so we'll come to that later. And I think all these illusionist cards are pretty interesting too. 2-of seems reasonable just because like it could be kind of clunky. I'm gonna start with it as a 3-of just to, I want to see it more often and figure out if that's a liability issue. I might increase my ally count a little bit also, just to be a bit more flexible with it. One of the nice things too is you can kind of be like, I'm gonna play this and attack, and I'm just gonna hold an ally. And if I already have gold, then I'm just not going to discard this ally to the wager card. Like, one of two things is going to happen. I'm either going to win the wager, and then I'm going to hero power discard this ally. Great. Or I'm going to lose the wager and just discard this ally to the wager, and then I just don't hero power now. So it kind of works either way. And then you kind of map out your turn where you have one more card in your hand or pitch floating to cover the rest of what you're going to do, or that card goes in your arsenal. So you're okay with either outcome. So it's like I'm holding 2 cards, one's an ally, one's a pitch card, or holding 1 card, it's an ally and I still have resources floating. The other thing is that might lend the deck to wanting a few more chonky attacks, because like it only works on attack action cards. So I'm assuming, based on the way the rules work, I don't believe that works on allies. So most of our attacks kind of suck ass. Like putting that on conk is great, but they're already incentivized to block the conk. So I don't want to, layer my on hits like that. Though making the conk even bigger, harder to block out is pretty nice. So having a few more attacks that are big could be nice, like some either sloops or Restless Bones could be nice. Red Restless Bones. Kind of doesn't work on allies. Yeah, that's what I figured. Just I didn't want to say that and be like, I didn't want to say it with confidence and be wrong, right? Because like if you look at a lot of the attacks that Gravy plays, it's like blue swell, that sucks ass. Blue tipple, that sucks. It's a lot of like 1 or 2 card blocks. It's really not that impressive. Really easy to block out the wager. I want to make them give something up to block out that wager, right? Like I don't want them to block that out for free. Okay, let's move on to the next card though, because otherwise we're going to be here all night. This might end up being multiple streams though, which I think you guys are probably fine with. Ravel's okay. They just put 2 cards in front of 2 cards, right? Like I spent 2 cards, they block with 2 cards. It's still pretty profitable for them. I wanted to be like, you got to give up armor or something, or your whole hand, and you just skip turn. I did say use the wager to discard an ally. I talked about mapping out your turn where you're okay with either outcome. Either I discard an ally, or I got a gold and now I discard the ally to the gold that's put into play. Either is fine. Okay, Savage Claw. Brute weapon, one-handed claw, pay 2, then tap it to attack. Interesting that it's tap. If a card with 6 or more power was pitched to attack with this, it gets +1. So it's 2 for 4. So functionally a club sometimes. Much worse than Mandible Claw, obviously, but we do need something to kind of replace that. Seems okay. This seems just like another flavor of the. We got something kind of like this in Heavy Hitters, right? One of the bears that's was it mini meat axe or something? Like it gets +1 if you discard it or something like that. Kind of similar concept. Do we have anything that like references claws? Like this subtyping of claw matters? I don't think so. I am on Fabry. I could just like check. It's a lot. Okay, this is actually a good one for a blockout party. Name every card for the podcast. Name every card that has claw in the name, or how many cards have claw in the name. I'm gonna tell them that one later. Or someone can do that for me, because I'm going to definitely forget later. Okay, let's move on to the next one. This, I don't see a world where you really want to play this. In RKO, this is just not going to see play. In Levia and Reinhardt, it might, but like, why would you play this over Claw? They don't have the action points to really utilize this. And I think they could use the other ones easier, where it says, like, if you've discarded a card, it gets +1. I'm pretty sure that that's one of them. Again, I could just look this up. No, what is... This one, Ball Breaker. Like, it's just another flavor of this, and this already doesn't really see play. I don't think regular KO would choose to play this because they would rather the go again. All right, let's move on to the next one. Reckless Arithmetic. Oh, this is a funny card. I like this. Blue, 1 cost, non-attack, 3 block, brute card. When it attacks, roll a 6-sided dice. I already hate it. This gets +X, where X is the number rolled, and it's a 1 power attack, so it is a blue 1 cost attack that is between 2 and 7 power. Probably not going to see play right now. This really doesn't have much of a home. I guess you could play this in RKO, right? You just play this as a 2 power attack that has the upside of becoming bigger, and then you can hero power to make it even bigger. Seems okay there. I don't think that's like really what the deck necessarily needs, but fine card. And it's blue, so you're not really giving up too much, right? I just don't currently really see the vision of a good RKO deck, so it's hard for me to really judge this. Like, I'm still in that mindset that all 4 of those heroes are complete butt cheeks. So like, I don't see the vision of what they're like looking for to be good heroes. Like, I can see the vision when it comes to the other 2 pirate heroes of what they're missing, because like, they've got some really good stuff going on. They're just missing some glue. I don't really see what these heroes are even trying to do, because it's so like bad. Lay down the challenge. 0 cost, yellow brute, non-attack action, 3 block with go again. Intimidate target hero, then if they have more cards in their hand than you, draw a card. That's pretty interesting. So functionally, if you're playing this right, you're just going to cantrip with it. So you're just playing this as a free Intimidate. So you're just nugging them for 3 free true damage. And it's a yellow, so you can pitch this for later, which is pretty cool. Where you like do a couple things and then play this to dump hand. You like this in Tough Nut? I guess I could see it. I don't really think Intimidate is really what Tough Nut's looking for, and it's not a card that has 6 to make a toughness. So it seems pretty mid. Well, you say that on the wanting them to move away from dice rolling, but then they print a card that rolls dice. I think they should move away from dice rolling. It's fucking stupid, but like, no, I don't think this is really a Tough Nut card. I think this is like a Reinhardt card where you're using this to close the game. You can like block a card, then play this and it cantrips, or play a pump that doesn't cause an Intimidate to happen, then play this. Like, play a non-attack action or something, and then play this. I don't know if that's good. I'm just saying I think that's what the vision is. I don't think Tough Nut is trying to win the game through cheesing their way across the finish line through an Intimidate. I think most of the Tough Nut wins are going to be pretty deterministic, just through fatigue or just like mathing their opponent out. I don't think this is something that they need. Because I think a lot of the times against Tough Nut, you're just going to be like, okay, you intimidated me. I don't care. This also opens up some weird things too with Balance of Justice or things like that, where they're going to have more cards than you temporarily sometimes. You can also, for while you can, um, use some of your resources on the claw first, and then if they don't block and they eat the claw, then you go down on cards. Does seem kind of hard to use though. This does seem kind of hard to use. I can kind of see the vision though. Yo, intimidate yourself. Lit. Intimidate myself, keep creepers around. That's not how that works at all. Oh man, I'm ready for the banger Guardian cards. Cards you own with Visit Anvilheim, get go again. I don't even know what card that is. Remove X -1 counters from Guardian. Okay. Okay. Yeah, why is this in this set, not in Mastery Pack? That's true. 4 for 5 is pretty decent, but Sledge exists, so 4 for 6 better than 4 for 5. The only reason you're playing this is just so you can play this card in your deck. So, like, maybe there's some synergy where that matters, but I imagine a lot of the decks that let us just theorize. Oh, it's one-handed? Well, that's kind of cool. So you can go Sledge Shield. But man, I don't know. Like A4 kind of sucks. Like I think if this was just like normal hammer size, this would be much better. But also, like, I think a lot of the decks that would take advantage of this card, let us assume a deck exists that utilizes this card to its fullest extent. Let's just assume that exists. I think a deck like that is going to be pretty often okay with this just not having go again because they're trying to, block slop guardian their way through the game. Like, oh, okay, whatever, I don't have go again. I was just going to block anyways. And that's nice that it gets go again, but I don't think that's like I don't think that fundamentally changes the power level of this card. What about Valda? You guys keep saying Valda. Be more information than just hero name. We're gonna move on to the next card until you guys. Testament? So we're just gonna explain things one word at a time? Okay. This thing. Yes. That's cool and all, but like I think we've moved pretty far away from this being a good effect in Fab. Like if this was good, Olympia would see play because his specialization that re-equips all the armor kind of is a similar idea. And if that was a powerful enough effect to be good, Olympia would see play. Unacceptable. Stop eating. That's cool and all, but this type of stuff would have been good back in the day with Lexi, where just having a shitload of armor is really valuable, and you can just fatigue them out because the whole game, the value prop is stopping their on hits. If you look at the decks that exist now, and over the past couple of years since Lexi, that the value prop is mostly their on hits. Guardian already is good into those kind of decks. Syndra, Assassin, sometimes. Assassin when armor is good and you can just block them out and just like when Victor is good into Assassin, that type of Assassin. Not talking about new, obviously. Well, Guardian's already good into that kind of strategy. So I don't think leaning even heavier into that strategy really changes very much. It's cool and all. The value might be there, but that's not good enough in my opinion. Could be wrong. Could be wrong. That is a unique effect in the game, but that actually kind of reminds me of the design that I had for Necromancer back before we got our first Necro. I had the idea of what if the Necromancer started with a low HP total, but when you killed them, they self-revived the first time. So, grain of salt the numbers. I'm just trying to illustrate the point here. So don't go that's too much, too little, whatever. Imagine you had a 20 health adult hero, and we killed them. They came back to life at 20 health. And they resurrected with full armor backup. Like they got all their armor with them on their second life. I thought that would be a really cool idea for a Necromancer. You probably have to make them even lower HP, like 15 or something like that, if they get the armor back. And also, there is that like weirdness of dealing that last point for the last first point of damage to them is worth quite a bit because you're frequently going to end up overkilling them because if you don't present it enough, then they just block and they keep limping along at 1 health. And if you present too much, they just say, whatever, no blocks, go to my second life, you wasted 8 value. So, is that what Frankie does? I don't actually know what Frankie does. Whenever you put an equipment whenever an equipment you control will be put into a graveyard and said banish it, and then she re-equips stuff. That just doesn't feel very necromancery to me, like her reanimating the equipment. I think you reanimating with your equipment makes sense. That feels necromancery to me. I thought that'd be pretty cool. Or maybe your equipment is cloaked and it doesn't flip until your second life. Maybe like that would be the way to do it. I don't know. I thought that would be a cool idea. Anyways, next shitty Guardian card. Seismic Shift, red 0 cost 3 block Guardian action will go again. Additional cost, tap X Seismic Search tokens, destroy X Aura tokens. Oh, that's pretty good. This would have been useful back in the day for Prism. Would have been useful against Viserai. Has some niche applications against some of the other Runeblades, like blowing up their embodiments and stuff. Getting through like Runechant stack bullshit. This is an effect that's good to exist in the game. I think this card is one of those cards that is nice to exist in the game and ideally never sees play. Because that means there's not some bullshit floating around that this is good into. I don't think it being red is really relevant because the decks that you're choosing to play it into, it doesn't matter. This is the only card in the deck that matters. What about Lyeth? Just the fact that you have a 5-card hand to what? To pitch into? The pitching doesn't matter. What does this have anything to do with Lyeth? I think the hard part with this is actually getting enough Seismic Surges to do this with, though. Because it's not like you can control when you have Seismic Surge tokens. Like, they're going to pop at every turn. To kill his mites, I guess. Sure. It's not like Lyeth has like a broken thing with his Seismic Search token. Like, yeah, that's something that you could do. But I think the real use case for this is your opponent is doing some degen shit with auras, and this is a silver bullet card to win that matchup. Like stack Florian or something like that. Like, now I'm going to do this, and maybe you can't get to enough rune chance to actually kill me, and the game becomes deterministic because I have 3 of these. This is my Scour, essentially. That's nice to exist. Look up the Guardian Yellow. Is it like Not one of the Majestics, I assume. Yellow block card, 3 block. When this defends, you can pay up to 3, make that many seismic surge tokens. So it's kind of like the smash ups. That's pretty cool. The thing is, against some of those decks, this is not something that you're going to really get to do, like a stack Florian or something. This is completely useless. They're just not attacking you. Or against like a Prism, where they're just attacking you for 1 a bunch of times. Like, what are you going to block 3 on an Aura and then pitch a card to make 3 seismics and then eat the rest of their attacks just so you can blow up some special shields? Kind of dubious. That might have to be the life that you live, but Sense Weakness. I think I saw this. Oh, yeah, this is the ally killer, right? Okay, this card... Man, I triggered some people in our group chat about this. This card is complete shit. So it's kind of similar to that cycle of other attacks that we have for Guardian, where it's a 3 cost that gives your next attack Dominate and then does a thing. So 3 cost blue, 3 block, go again, non-attack, Guardian card. Your next Guardian attack this turn gets +1, Dominate, and when it hits a hero, deal damage to all allies they control equal to the damage dealt this way. Now, let me explain why this card is complete suck. This has moments where it can be good, and I'm going to circle back around to that, though. Typically, Gravy Bones... Guardians are the real necromancers. They're undead walking among us. I mean, yeah, there's also Tap Chum or Gallo, but from a play pattern perspective for, you know, how the Guardian versus Gravy matchup works. Now, I'm just talking about Guardian versus Gravy here. It's different when we're talking about something like Dromai or Prism. I guess Prism wouldn't really matter because Ward, but I'm not going to get into Dromai because it's not legal right now, so it's completely not relevant right now. For Gravy, a lot of the times against a block slop deck, I really like that became a term recently. I'm quite happy about that. You're gonna only put like 1 ally in play a lot of the times because you know that their game plan is just fatigue you. They can't actually win the game with a proactive game plan, so they're just gonna play whack-a-mole all game. Like the jig is up after like turn 2 of the game that is their game plan. It's pretty face up. So from your POV, you shouldn't waste your allies. Putting extra allies in play is typically pretty bad on the Gravy side because you go long periods of time without actually attacking with multiple allies. So putting a bunch of them in play can be pretty bad. You really want to like space them out slowly. So when they play something like this and then they hit you, you're just like, okay, no blocks, lose my 1 ally, first damage to me. My life total was never relevant. This was way extra steps than just hammering my ally. Now, there are some spots that this can be good. If you're playing Guardian and trying to play a more proactive strategy and actually make my life total relevant to the game, or make the game about specific on-hits, this can be good as a way to kind of stem the bleeding and fish out my defensive cards and my equipment. We'll have to see how it is there. I am suspicious that it's just not good enough. Again, like if I don't have a bunch of things in play, then whatever, no blocks, let my guys die. I guess it's just like another battery to pulp in your deck, which is kind of nice, but I don't think that's really going to move the needle too much in that matchup. You'll get them sometimes. Like you can always somehow cheese on Guardian sometimes, but that's not a reliable, consistent strategy. You know what I'm trying to say? Yeah, I mean, I did just say I'm not talking about Dromai right now. Like I'm not even gonna think about that because it's not legal right now. Completely different for that matchup. Now that being said, Dromai does play a fuckage load of defense reactions and has a fridge of armor, so like kind of dubious there as well. But I could at least see that. I'm not gonna really put too much thought into a matchup that is not relevant in any way, shape, or form, though. This is the one where you get like a Shuriken, right? Which is this is kind of cool. Windcutter, ninja arms that block 1 with Blade Break, and as an attack reaction, you can pay 1, tap this, search your deck for a Shuriken item, put it into the arena, then shuffle. Activate this only if you've hit 2 or more times this combat chain. Notably, that doesn't destroy this, so you can theoretically do this an infinite number of times. There's not like a this is not like a once per game effect. I believe currently we only have the 1 Shuriken. I'm gonna horribly spell this wrong. Oh, we're lit! We spelled it right. Yeah, so currently it only gets this, which is just gives a card with combo +1. Okay. It's alright. I think this is a plant for future design for a new ninja that we haven't seen yet. It's kind of like a different version of Flick Knives, I guess, for trying to force through your on hits more often. So this could be better theoretically than what are the gloves that Katsu usually plays that give your combo card +1? Like this could just in theory just be a better version of that. You get to do it 3 times instead of once. Maybe that's relevant. I don't think that really moves the needle for Katsu though. Breaking Scales, that's the card. Yeah. I was just saying Flick as in a like I'm gonna use this on my combat chain to force through my shit. Yeah, you can. I guess that's the nice thing is this does let you get some of your wasted resources on a turn to have a function. Like I don't need to pop the Shuriken now. I can just if I have a turn that costs 2 resources, I'll just activate this now to put the Shuriken in play for later. Get it out of my deck. Gentle Breeze, 0 cost, ninja attack, 2 block. Your other attacks have base 1 power, go again. I don't see the vision for this card. This is pretty interesting. I don't know what the use for this is though. You guys have any ideas for this? I would love to hear it. Is this just like a Benji thing, which isn't relevant for anything? Because like, don't you already mostly play low base power cards in a deck like Benji? So I don't really see the point of this. Maybe it's for some design space kind of similar to stubby hammers. Oh, I guess your 0 power cards get +1 with this. Hey Pheno, going back to Sense Weakness, I think it's for decks like Jarl into Kasai. I hadn't considered Kasai. That's pretty interesting. Yeah, I could see that. Seemed kind of dubious into the deck with a giant fucking fridge of armor, but it's a legal game action, I suppose. Yeah, Benji would make them unblockable. But you could have also just included cards in your deck that already work with Benji, right? Like, what are you playing Benji with things that are 3 or greater in your deck? So that way you can play this with them to make them unblockable? Seems kind of weird. The Tiger thing, that makes sense, though. Well, it's not going to be 5 dominate. You're assuming it's a hammer. Like, if you're trying to kill all the tokens, you're probably going to throw a bigger attack. But all the tigers with this, I guess, could make sense. Like, make a giant stack of tigers, then play this as your last chain link before all the tigers. I could see that. Doesn't seem that great, though. Kind of a conditional anthem. But it's an anthem nonetheless, and anthems, as we've seen, are pretty powerful in the game. So maybe this has a home in the future. To green? Is that how you pronounce this? To green? Reflex? 0 cost, red ninja attack, 2 block. Oh my god, this is the card I was talking about. Okay, so remember I was talking about earlier how I was just judging instead? When we were just like hanging out in between rounds or like at food, there was a design space that I was talking about a bunch the past couple weekends that I thought would be cool for them to explore. And I actually had 2 cards this set that I was like, holy shit, that was my idea happened. This isn't quite my idea, but it's pretty similar. This is my idea, but I had a different example for this idea. So the first one was I had the idea of I would really like to see them explore the design space some more of the windups of some more modal attacks that are both attacks and kind of reactions. And the example I gave was an Azuri card to give her her own version of Jestinic or Tarantula Toxin. So imagine a card that you would put in Azuri. You declare attacks. You put your stealth attack on the combat chain. Your opponent blocks. You activate Azuri. You then choose to leave that card in banish. You don't put it into play. That card is an attack, but it's just like a kind of vanilla rate card. It's really not that great, but you could cast it. But it has a second line that says attack reaction, give a stealth attack +6. You can only play this from banish. I thought that'd be a really cool design space. We got an attack reaction. Oh, my idea came to fruition. So what does this actually do? Combo. If Crouching Tiger was the last attack this combat chain, this gets +1 and go again. So it's a 0 for 4 go again if you it's just vanilla 0 for 4 go again in a Tiger deck. But it has an attack reaction effect where you can discard this, target ninja attack, it's +1, create a Crouching Tiger in your hand. That's pretty cool. I don't know how good this is actually going to be for a Tiger deck, but we also don't really have any Tiger decks right now. It doesn't really seem like something that Katsu's going to want to play. So we'll have to see what the next Tiger hero actually looks like to see how good this actually is. You had the idea of the non-reaction traps. I really like that design space too. I saw a little bit about that. I could see block 3 for this. They typically don't give... Well, I guess it's conditional go again also, right? I think that's fine. Katsu can discard a Tiger? Is that true? I guess that works. But it's still kind of shit, right? Like, you're just discarding this to give something +1. I guess it's a lunging press that then turns into Monarch Tutor. I guess in that case, you don't even care if there's a Tiger on the chain, right? Like, you're just playing this as a lunging press tutor. That's pretty cool. Okay. Yeah, that's actually pretty good. I bite. Okay. Okay. Now the other card that I was talking about that I wanted almost exactly was printed in the set. I've been talking for a while about like locally about Marlin, how I think she's really close to being good. Her hero power is really good, her weapon's really good, the ranger card pool is really good. She's just missing some glue pieces to kind of function. She's just a little too inconsistent. So one of the cards that I thought would be really good for her was a yellow harpoon that was a 2 for 5, and it says on hit make a gold. It also says when this is discarded, make a gold. That was the card that I had designed. Then, as you have pointed out, we got Command and Poon. I actually think that's better than what I had come up with. Like, power level wise is better. I think what I came up with was a better glue piece because it also has the discard make a gold. But yeah, I'll just take a strictly better version of the card that I thought of. And then the other thing that I think she really needs is like a quiver or something that either counts as a gold or just has destroy this to loot. Some sort of effect that would let you not have to play Royal Hat anymore. So I can functionally still have that like starting gold, but get to play New Horizons. really want to play New Horizons. That will like open like New Horizons means that she on average just gets like probably 3 extra cards worth of value a game. Ooh yeah, Codex a Yellow Harpoon. I wasn't even thinking about Codex. I was thinking of just like the other forms of discard in the deck, like Portside, Tipple, things like that. Um I think she also has a pump that does that, right? The game Trophy Shot, is that the name of the card? I'm pretty sure that also loots. So you'd make 2 gold off of that. Yeah, something like Victor's Shield. I think that would be really nice. Cross Wrap I could also see be good. Okay, what about this? Instead of 2 Arsenal Zones, she gets 2 hats, which would then let her get 2 Arsenal Zones. Genius. Man, I hadn't thought about calling it Command and Poon before, but I'm definitely stealing that. Okay, on to the next card. Templar Spellbane, Warrior Head Equipment, 1 block. Instant, destroy this, prevent 1 arcane damage that would be dealt to you this turn. If you've activated a weapon this turn, prevent 2 instead. Battle Worn. Seems okay. Functionally preventing 3 damage against decks that do split damage. Or it's like a Spell Void kind of versus some of the wizards. Does let you consolidate your card slots a little bit. Seems okay. I don't think this is really what you really needed for those kind of matchups, though. I don't think this moves the needle, but the Warrior heads can correct me on that. Yeah, at least it's not Nullrune. My God. What a meme. What a meme the Guardian class is. Brand new helmet. Literally just Nullrune. My God. I lost my shit. Um, I'm constantly memeing on the Guardian class about how fucking bad it is, and they did not beat the allegations this set. Holy crap. Sword Master's Shine. Let's just take a second to. Can I zoom in? This is lit art. Who did this? I'm not familiar with that person. This art is sick. Is that the new hero? Hala or whatever? Hala at me? This costs 1 less to play. For each +1 counter on swords you control, target weapon gets +5. This card is really good. I'm just going to assume that this isn't real. This is a fake cost. This is a 0 for 5. Warrior doesn't get shit that's above rate. I think Blade Flurry is their only card that's above rate. Can anyone confirm or deny that? Do they have any other cards in their entire card pool that's above rate? I guess Shunt. It's technically 7 value, right? If you can get all 7. Blunton. Oh, we're about to come up to that, so I'm not going to read that yet. Slice and Dice? Okay, okay, we got 2 cards. We have 2 whole warrior cards that are above rate. No, I don't count dynamos. I'm saying the card itself is above rate. There are ways to go above rate in warrior, like Dorinthia getting an extra attack or using dynamos, things like that. I'm not talking about that. I'm just saying the text on the card is above rate. Yeah, the warriors agree, but that's again kind of outside of what I'm talking about. Like, this card's insane. This card's very good, but not right now. We'll have to see after the Pro Tour because we don't even get this deck until after the Pro Tour, right? Unsheathed? Is that the +3 with Go again? Or how is this above rate? It says 3. I'm not talking, I don't care what they rate Go Again at in the class. I'm just saying, how much value are you getting out of this card? You spent one card. How much value did you get? You got 3. That's not above rate. The hoops Warrior has to jump through just to play reasonable Flesh and Blood. Like, it's crazy. I mean, at least they're not Guardian. Oath of Steel. I mean, against me, Oath of Steel is insane. Felling Swing, is that the one that gives +6? Is that 2-card 6, right? That's not above rate. Am I thinking of the right card? It's a 2-card 6. That's not above rate. Are you calling Yellow Raging Onslaught above rate? Get out of here. Rate, exact rate, is 3 per card. If I was to defend with this card, I would get 3. That is exact rate. Typically, your action point is worth 1. The 1 action point you get for the turn. They value action point generation in the game, sometimes as a part of that value where you're losing value by getting Go Again and such. It depends on the class, depends on the card. I'm not going to get too deep into that. So when you play a 2-card 7, you're 1 point above rate, but you're using your action point typically. This is a 1-card 5. We're 2 points above rate, and it's not using your action point. That's insane. Route? Situationally. Which one's safer? This is above rate. 4. That's 1 more than 3. Great card. That's why this card is so good. It's above rate. And it lets you draw a card sometimes. The Rent? Cut for the same cloth? Yeah, that's above rate. What Warrior had to do to go above rate? Make their card half assassin. We've done it. Okay, let's move on to the next one. But this card's really good. We're gonna have to wait and see what that hero looks like. Does anyone know when we get this hero? Is it after the Pro Tour, so this doesn't matter? Blunton! Warrior block card, 2 block, yellow. When this defends a weapon attack, the attacking hero discards a card. It's so weird that the weapon class is the anti-weapon class. That card's really good. In theory. Like against Aurora, this would have been sick. Block their Starfall, stop their Channel Lightning Valley trigger, and make them discard a card. Nice extender, Bozo. I think the problem with this is going to be outside of the Warrior mirrors. How many times do you see classes that actually have Go Again on their weapon? It's pretty infrequent. So the rest of the time it's just going to say you can't Arsenal, I guess, if you attack with a weapon on that turn, unless you want a Gamba. Which, there's some risk reward there. And you look like an idiot if they don't attack with their weapon. Assassin? Okay, yeah, Assassin, that's a good point. Okay. Assassin and Brute. Oh, yeah, this takes a fat dookie on Codex. But that being said, Warrior is already the class that kind of took a dookie on Assassin historically, so. Enigma? Well, Guardian, it's only going to matter if they were trying to get an arsenal or react on their weapon. Because if they're empty-handed when they attack with their weapon, it doesn't do anything. So that's why I'm saying Go Again on the weapon, because this is going to matter if they're using their weapon as an extender, so they can keep doing other shit. Enigma, it's kind of dubious. Enigma also has the benefit of like, oh, I was going to put this card in Arsenal, but since you played this, I will just play that card as an instant instead. Okay, whatever. I, I already mapped out my turn around you potentially having this. I don't really care. Oh yeah, Ninja. I forgot about Ninja. It's been so long since we had a Ninja that's actually trying to attack with their weapons. Yeah, KO for like a week. Yeah, I mean, this card's incredible. This card is very good. I'm not trying to downplay it. I'm just trying to temper my expectations of how good it actually is. I don't want to read this and go, this card's insane. Windmill slam it everywhere. I'm trying to point out, like, this isn't always going to be good, and there are situations where this isn't going to be that good, and now you're going to look like an idiot for having a yellow 2-block. So you do need to consider these things. That's all. But the card's very good. Synapse Spark Cap. Yeah, so much stuff for the mirror now. Action. I should read the rest. Mechanologist, head, 1-block, battle worn, action, tap it, banish an Evo from your hand, create a ponder token. Well, that's pretty interesting. This is almost like Gravy Bones-esque, where it, in theory, is card neutral, but it's a card that you can play later. And it's a base, so you can play Evos onto this. I think this card's pretty good. Yeah, this card's very good. No other real thoughts. I don't know if Teklo is going to be actually good after all of this stuff, but like, this is a step forward to being a playable hero. Ghost Protocol Architect. This art is sick. I also love the border on the mech cards like this. The reddish one. Super cool. Canonically powered by lemons. It is a 1-power Mechanologist attack that is a 3-block, a 0-cost red. If this card was banished from boosting this turn, you may play it from your banish zone. That's kind of cool. This kind of plays into that like shadow Mechanologist style, which is kind of interesting. Evo upgrade. When this attacks, search your deck for an Evo with cost less than or equal to the number of Evos you have equipped. Banish it, then shuffle. So you get to tutor a card into your banish sometimes. That's also pretty cool. Yeah, this card, in theory, is pretty good. I can't imagine you actually get the first line of text with this very often, since you have really no control over that I'm aware of right now. That might change as I read more cards. I haven't seen if there's any cards that let you control this getting boosted, but so I'm grain assaulting that first line. It's just like random upside sometimes. But the second line of text, yeah, that seems pretty good. Some free value. You're still spending your action point to attack them for 1, though, which is kind of mediocre. So, it's all right. I can't imagine Teklo's actually going to be good. I'll keep it a buck with you. Like, he's still very exploitable. This is the same artist. I guess I just inadvertently found an artist I really like. Evo betas? Is Evo beta something new? I haven't read that yet. Ghost Protocol mainframe. This is very similar to the other one, where it is a 0-cost 1-power attack 3-block, but this one's blue instead. Same text of getting to play it from banish if it was boosted. Evo upgrade gets +1 for each Evo you have equipped. So it is a blue that can attack for significantly more. Does this count each of the Evos that are underneath? Or does this cap out at 5? I don't know how that works with the overlaying of multiple. Farflight Longbow. Instant 1 tap. Put an arrow from your hand face up in your arsenal. Your arrow attacks may attack any opposing hero or ally. And on to the next spoiler. Spoiler, new card. Oh, this is the this and then the Starvo one are the LL cards. 0 cost red defense reaction trap 3 block. When this defends an attacking hero who controls 3 or more attacks with greater than their base, attacks can't gain power this turn. A little late for this, but okay. I guess this similar to this is one of those cards that it's nice that this exists in the game in case something is broken in the future. Silver Bullet Slop. I mean, I actually really like Silver Bullet Slop. I think that was one of the problems that Flesh and Blood had early on, that we didn't have enough of those types of things. That's what made Prism feel so oppressive, because we just didn't have the tools to deal with Spectra back then. It's what made things like Runeblade and Starvo so broken, because we just didn't have things that could interact with that. So having more of these kind of effects that go, hey, if that becomes too good, this hero has a niche in the meta to attack that, I think is very good for the game. Yeah, why is this a Majestic also? Like, whatever, man. This is upsetting. That's a Majestic. Why was this even printed? I'm gonna be honest. Why was this even printed? I was like, okay, whatever. When I saw it was a promo, like, okay, it was a promo. Who cares? Like, it's an armory thing or something. This doesn't fucking matter. This is Majestic? Why? What a fucking waste. It's the cold foil and gem pack? You're fucking me. Jesus Christ. Oh. Anyways, moving on to the next thing. Who fucking at LSS read that and went, "This is it right here. This is the sauce. Wait till they see this." They've been waiting for this. Probably whoever also thought that the Sage decks were good enough to win a calling and thought that was a good marketing campaign. I like low key. I won't even say crashed out, because again, I'm like apathetic about shit right now. I'm just like, I'm past the point of you can only complain so much where you kind of burn out on complaining. I can't believe the Sage decks. Like, I don't understand what the point of grossly overselling the quality of those was. Like, if they had just said that they were a really good starting point for new players, nobody would have batted an eye. People would be like, okay, great. That's a good product. Great. I don't understand the point of being like, these can literally win a calling. The $2 million, the $20 ticket to the $2 million Pro Tour. What? Oh, this is why you don't see other companies oversell shit that hard, because it's just a no-win situation. Like, when you say something like that, it's gonna get super scrutinized by your community. And anything short of meeting the expectation is going to be a failure. So that's why you don't say shit like that. But man, I don't understand who there that is saying this is a good idea, or like, or it's someone high up that's like, this is my idea, we're going to do this, and they don't have someone in their corner saying, hey, maybe that's a bad idea. Like, you got to get someone in your corner that tells you when something's a bad idea. You need that guy, your guy, that tells you when, hey man, maybe it's a little overcooked. Whatever, man. Catch up on chat a little bit. One guy did well on Fi. Was it Mengucci? I think I saw a thing about him doing pretty decent. I'm just tired of this shit, man. It's also so irritating because, like, when you do something like that, it's really easy to lose your players' trust. It's incredibly difficult to gain their trust. And when you do stuff like that, and you don't deliver... Oh, Florin? He's the guy that topped Worlds, right? When you do shit like that, and you lose your player's trust, it's so difficult to get it back. So that's kind of where I've been for the past like year or so. Of like they finally lost my trust. Even I had nigh blind trust in them like a few years ago, and they kept doing shit that lost my trust. It's sad, man. Not seeing the future. We're getting a danger with an ability. You can attack adjacent heroes with the table. Oh my god, what a meme that would be. I attack the person 2 seats down from me at the table. Oh, that'd be lit. Hey, I'd play a multiplayer pro tour. That sounds lit. I can table talk. I can I played Commander. I'm ready for this shit. Anyways, I'm sure Jesse's been waiting for me to yap about this one. Rune Snare, 0 cost, ranger action trap, 2 block. So it's a non-attack action with a subtyping trap. Your next arrow attack this turn gets +3. Go again. When this defends an attacking hero. When this defends and the attacking hero has played or created 2 or more auras this turn, destroy an aura they control. And I assume the way this is worded still would trigger Riptide hero power. Yeah, this card's very good. Block 2, kill your aura. Oh, you didn't do the thing? Whatever, vanilla +3 pump. This card's great. This could even see play outside of Riptide, honestly. It's good enough. Like, Frailty Trap saw play outside of Riptide, just because the value was good enough. Yeah, that was... I forgot about that, that we held back no punches. Like, man, I'm scared to see what it looks like when you guys do hold back the punches. Like... Oh man, I was quietly laughing to myself about that. I don't know if you guys saw the Twitter thread of James White trying to be like, who wants to do a podcast thing with me? He could not have done it with us. Because all I was thinking being like, hey James White, you want to really see what it looks like when people don't hold back their punches? We'll show you. That's all I could think when I saw that. Like, I probably just wouldn't be on the episode, so it would, not be like that, because like I'm not in the right kind of headspace to do something like that right now. I'd be a little too antagonistic right now. I'm just being honest with myself that I'm not in the right headspace to do something like that. But that's all I could think of when I saw that. I mean, apparently Olympia was playable in Sage. Oh yeah, Blow Up Malefic is pretty good too. Okay, moving on to the next one. This card's great. I remember seeing this. Grimoire of Felling Song. It is a Runeblade equipment offhand, so this is like a Vincent card. Instant, pay 1, destroy this, create a rune chant. Great. This is the kind of effect that Vincent really needed to add that extra bit of consistency. Now, could we get something like this for Marlin? Just an offhand that makes a gold or something like that. Like, that would be perfect. But yeah, this card's going to be great. What a quality of life that's going to be for her. Doom saying Doom. This was like the this felt like the card of this set. Everyone was doom saying so much. Doom posting. Red 0 cost the red 0 cost Runeblade action aura 3 block with go again. At the beginning of your end phase, put a Doom counter on this. Then each hero destroys X auras they control, where X is the number of Doom counters on this. So it is an aura, so it will eventually sacrifice itself. But this is a pretty good way for dealing with auras. I don't know why that's been Runeblade's thing of they're one of the better classes for dealing with auras. The aura class is the best at dealing with auras. Feels kind of odd. But yeah, this card's great if that ever needs to be a thing in the metagame. Dealing with like channels and things like that, or Spectra auras. Pretty reasonable sideboard card. Smokestack and Fab for auras. Yeah, I suppose. Sigil of Grave Spawning. 1 cost, blue, Runeblade, action, aura, 3 block with go again. When an aura leaves your graveyard, deal 1 damage to target hero. At the beginning of your action phase, destroy this. When an aura leaves your graveyard? Okay, I don't see the vision of this. Y'all see the vision? I don't. What does this interact with? I guess you could play this in Florian and decompose some of your auras. Okay, so I don't see the vision yet. Well, I'll see the vision later on as I read more cards. The Strider's replacement so they can finally ban them. Tempest Dancers! Wizard equipment legs 0 block. When this leaves the arena, you may play your next non-attack action this turn as though it were an instant Blade Break. So basically Striders that only work if you got to defend that turn. And they have to close the combat chain at some point. Pretty good. Pretty reasonable. It's nice seeing a budget replacement for Striders. There's probably some applications where this is better. Doesn't cost you the dollar. And hopefully this means we can get Striders banned. Here's hoping. Blitz Wizard shoes? Okay. For the format that doesn't matter anymore. Oh man, that was another thing that I kind of was like eye roll at today. Okay. What do you guys think about the Sage format? I haven't watched the coverage yet. I haven't really played any games. So, my opinion is a huge grain of salt. I'm curious what you guys think about the format. Cash Out Wizard, yo. That's lit. You like it? You like it? You're biased because you get to play Briar better than you thought. Block Slop, going the right direction. You think your life is better for not participating in Sage? I think it's much better with Chain Gone. Still needs a ton of work. Not a fan. Need some BNR work. We're done talking about Striders. For now. Okay, so it seems like a lot of you guys actually like the format. I don't have a huge opinion on the format because I haven't really played. All I know is that I was looking at it and being like, man, this shit's so goofy that we killed 3 formats for Block Slop the format. That was like my thought when I was seeing the top 8 earlier. Like, we killed Blitz, Living Legend, and Commoner for this. We could have just, like, salvaged some of those formats instead, but I don't know, man. That's too much work. Hopefully it's good. I'm a little scared that it's going to be cringe when I get to the Pro Tour, but hopefully it's good. I mean, Prism's never going to be playable. It's a 20 life format, man. Illusionist sucks in 20 life formats. Yeah, imagine the Briar deck that I was brewing before might be good. I was working on a Briar deck like maybe like a month or 2 ago. I mean, I want to play Enigma. I don't know if it's going to be good. I think the meta is positioned in such a way where it potentially could be good for Enigma. If it's all Block Slop, that's probably good for Enigma. If the meta shifts to like Kano and things like that to counter the Block Slop, well then Enigma should be good into that as well. So I think it's like maybe moving in a position that's good for Enigma. Yeah, one of the things that I was really hoping we were going to get for the format, you guys know the equipment that we got forever ago? What was it, like Dusk Till Dawn or something? Where it was better if you were going first equipment or something like that? Where it was like a catch-up mechanic for going first, but it sucks ass the rest of the time. I was really hoping that they would explore that design space a little bit more. Not exactly with those, but something else. Like, yeah, Reiner, that would be a good one. I mean, Brody did pretty well on Reinar. That makes sense. I was a little confused when I saw him playing Reinar at first, but after seeing how the meta shook up, kind of makes sense. Um, so like, let's say for example, we got an equipment that blocks for 2. Yeah, frontline. 2-block equipment that if you went first when this defends, you also gain 1 life. That way, you're not inflating the amount of armor that's in the format, but you're still giving the player that's disadvantage a few extra points of HP. I think something like that would be pretty good to help balance out the 20 life thing. Oh, big thirst. Hydrate, guys. That makes sense. I'm curious to see what Kano looks like in this format. I can't envision it. So this just means that the format's going to turn a different cringe direction where it's all decks that poop on block slop, but the decks that poop on block slop are cringe for different reasons. Double Kano? Jesus Christ. Anyone have a Kano list that I can look at? I don't know if they published that shit. Okay, let's look at the next card. Glyph Destruction Nodes. 0 cost, yellow aura, 3 block. With Blaze on the art. We're definitely getting Blaze this set, right? Okay, while we're crashing out about things, I cannot believe we didn't get a new hero in this set. This is the first time we've ever had a set with no hero at all in it. We've had sets with like heroes that didn't see play or like Blitz only, but man, no heroes? That's fucking crazy. I can't believe that the only hero we've realistically had enter Classic Constructed in the past 4 sets is Gravy Bones. Fucking ridiculous. That's the other thing of why I'm so like whatever on Fab right now. I'm just so bored of being in the same meta for like a year. So ridiculous, man. I also miss LL. That shit was fun. Oh, hold up. Jesse just sent me let's take a look. Move my chat back over. This is Jacob's list. Okay. This is the 3-block thing. Oh, great. What a great site. I can't increase the size of things. I have to do this. Poorly optimized site. Oh, that's pretty cool. Makes sense. I'm surprised Snapback is legal. So kind of like a Bullander deck, but you don't get instant speed from Arsenal. You get instant speed from Hero Power. Are people just like not playing AB? I don't understand how this is better than just playing Icelander. Anyways, this card with Blaze on it, so we definitely get Blaze this set, right? Deal 3 arcane damage to up to X target heroes and or allies, where X is the number of aura permanents you control with sigil in the name. Now, this would deal at 3 to each target, right? Based on the way this is worded, not 3 divided. Oh, Moon is banned. Okay. I mean, yeah, this card's pretty good at dealing with ally decks. Card's good. Good sideboard card. Oh, what is this art? This is so cute. What? This is adorable. This is so cute. I love this. Is he riding this wizard staff like a surfboard? What is going on? This is adorable. I love this card. Oh, I hate this card. Negate target non-attack action card with costs less than the number of aura permanents you control with sigil in their name. As controller gains 1 action point, and it is a 0-cost red wizard instant. At least it's not a blue. You know what? I'll take it. I'm sick of these blue hand traps. It's red. They finally learned stop printing the goddamn hand traps at blue. I mean, yeah, this is pretty annoying to deal with, but whatever. There's a real cost to playing this card. It's a red. That doesn't do anything for your deck. I mean, we already have this at blue. What is it? Rewind? It's like basically the same thing, but it's blue, and I think it costs 1. Remember that like day when Rewind just said do whatever the fuck you feel like, man? That was a funny 24 hours in Fab. Touch of Reality, Illusionist, Equipment Arms, instant, pay X and tap this. It gets X ward until end of turn. Destroy this at the beginning of your end phase. This card is really good for very specific matchups. Hey man, what's up? Yeah, I could like see this being really good into something like Guardian or Brute. They go to intimidate you and you just pay a bunch into ward. Yeah, this card's great. I don't think it will currently see play in Prism, but it's, you know, one of those sideboard cards that's nice to kind of have in your back pocket for very specific metagames. Lunar Mirage, 0-cost red illusionist attack, 3 power, 3 attack. When an attack action card with 6 or more power defends this, this becomes a copy of that card. Go again. Mirage, when this is defending a non-illusionist attack with 6 or more, destroy this. So it has Phantasm on defense, basically. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is just X of any type of resource since it's red. Yeah, I agree. This looks like it should be a Mystic card, but it's not. I also kind of agree with you that a lot of these seem like we're in the waiting room for them having a home. Kind of feels like what was it, Dynasty, where we got a bunch of cards where we're like, that's cool. I guess this might see play in a year or two when something happens that makes them playable. Anyways, so basically Phantasm on defense. I'm gonna reserve my opinion until I read the rules in this card because I don't fully know how this card works yet. Like, if this blocks a card with 6 or more, does it lose? And like, let's say Command and Conquer blocks this. Just make it easy. Does this become Command and Conquer so it loses Go again? I don't know how that works. And it would gain the power, right? So it becomes 6. That's kind of interesting. Where like, this is a card that if they don't defend it, is an extender, so you can do your other shit afterwards to get your value on board. But if they do defend it, well, now the rate on this card goes up. So you don't get your extender, but this kind of compensates for that. It's kind of interesting. Don't know if this will actually see play. I think if this was a blue, it would see play in Enigma. But it's not, so I'm like, I don't know what the home for this is. Might have played this in Dromai. I don't think I would have played this in Dromai in LL, though. Mind meets might. 3 cost, illusionist attack with 7 power and 3 defense. This one also has Mirage, the phantasm when you defend with it, basically. When this hits a hero, they reveal their hand and discard all cards with 6 or more power, then they draw that many cards. Eh? If they care, they'll just defend with those cards, right? I mean, it is kind of nice to have a big chunky attack, because there's been some points where, like, it would have been nice to have some big chunky attacks in an illusionist that didn't have phantasm. Like, ironically, Enigma Chimera is in the art of this card, and there's times where we went, yeah, I guess I'll put Enigma Chimera in this deck just as a Wounding Bull. And this lets you fish out their poppers to reduce their popper density in their deck. I don't think this is a card that I would be planning on playing, though. Eh. I don't think it's worse Raging Onslaught. Well, I guess it's worse Raging Onslaught because the Mirage text. It actually does some funny things in the Illusionist Mirror. Because they can't use them as poppers anyways. Yeah, Phantasmaclasm, obviously the GOAT. I'm assuming, without reading this has something to do with buying it back with silver. Assassin Equipment Offhand. Spell Void 1, destroy 2 silver you control to equip it. Activate this only if it's in your graveyard. Yep. Seems reasonable in an Assassin. I feel like it's a little overkill having this much Spell Void on Assassin, but whatever. Assassin gets to do everything in the game. So yeah, that's another thing that I've talked about before. I really don't like the design space of Assassin. It feels like it's cannibalized the design space of all 4 WTR classes. You want a go wide deck with head jabs and such? Assassin. You want the tricky attack reaction deck? Assassin. You want on hits that are really disruptive to your opponent? Assassin. You want randomness of neither player knows the outcome of what's going to happen? Assassin. It just took all the design space of the 4 WTR heroes and just combined them and made them better. Really don't like that. I never considered that Assassin's the Jund of the game. It's kind of interesting. Lobotomy! Is this the Abritic class one? Yeah. So it's a stealth attack, normal stealth attack stats, 3 power, 3 defense, stealth. When it attacks, you can equip an Abritic class from your inventory. When this hits a hero, if you control an Abritic class, they lose all hero card abilities during their next action phase. This is pretty cool. I could see this see play just as like a specific tech card for some matchups. Yeah, seems pretty interesting. Pretty annoying from the gravy POV, turning off my hero power. Yeah, this card's good. More great Majestics for Assassin. They were lacking in these. Seeker Kunai. Interesting. 0 cost Assassin instant item, so it's kind of like the Shuriken. That's what I heard someone else say, that it's his signature weapon. I didn't fact check that. Same kind of deal as the Shuriken. It's an attack reaction. You can pay 1, destroy this. Assassin attack gets +1. While this is in your graveyard at the start of your turn, oh, it's got the Graven thing. Destroy 2 silver you control to return this to the arena. So just there's no Fork Tower today. It got canceled. Unless I'm wrong and it didn't get canceled. Is it back on? Hold on. It didn't get re. I was like, whoa, did I fuck up? Yeah, I wanted to do that, but I was like, okay, well, I guess I'll stream instead. I know this card's cool. I don't know if this is C+. I can't judge how good this card is, honestly. I honestly think Assassin has a bit of a problem of too many cards that have that buyback effect with not enough ways to actually make silver. And I thought that was a problem back when we only had a couple pieces of equipment that did that, and now we have way more. But have we gained more ways to make silver? I don't think so. Bone Puppetry. Necromancer, equipment arms, 2-block, blade break. When this defends, you may return an ally from your graveyard to the arena. If you do, at the beginning of the end phase, destroy it and discard your hand. I gotta think on this one for a sec. Oh, that's cute, discarding the kunai to the agent ability. I like that. Okay. The way this is worded, you would return the ally to play on your opponent's turn, and then it would die that end phase, right? So you don't even get to attack with it? Am I reading this right? Because it doesn't say the beginning of your end phase. It says the beginning of the end phase. So, like, I don't know, you could, like, block with this to get back Chum or something to, like, save yourself, I guess? Seems pretty niche. What if we get away? Because they made some cards in High Seas, right? That, like, do something with your allies and play, like you can tap them or whatever. What if they expand on that design space where it'll be like, when you defend with this card, you can destroy an ally you control, make gold equal to its cost, or something like that. That'd be pretty cool with this. I'm gonna block my whole hand, get back an ally, sack the ally, make 7 gold. That'd be kind of lit. Yeah, self Midas. Yeah, like this card. Like, imagine if they expanded on this design space. That'd be pretty cool. Yo, who needs to hook? I just made 7 gold. I'm set. I'm set for the rest of the game. We're lit. I mean, obviously that doesn't matter right now because that's not a thing that exists. But that's like I'm gonna keep my eye on that for future design space with this card. Kind of cool to see a oh fuck button with Chum if that ever matters. Like some combo deck exists or something, or maybe like a hyper aggro deck like Dash or a Cilio. That could be relevant in those matchups. Yeah, big if. But I'm trying to figure out what would make this card good, right? Like what set of circumstances need to happen to make an effect like this relevant to me? I can do something with the ally that I just got back with this. I want to discard these cards. Well, again, if that card exists that lets me sack my ally to make all this gold, then like who cares? I have 7 gold now. Or the entire game is about getting chum in play. So this is just so long as this exists in play, if my opponent just loses to chum and this exists in play, they can never win the game. That could be all that matters. Like imagine that's how the Acilio matchup plays in theory. I know that's not exactly how the Acilio matchup plays out, but imagine it did. Then maybe you're fine giving up hook because nothing else matters other than chum. Boo! Resident Spook. 1 cost, 2 power, 2 health ally, Watery Grave, attack action, attack, just tap it, so it's a free attack every turn. If this is untapped, it gets Spell Void too. Ooh! This card's pretty good. Sideboard card, if you need this. Might be worth playing for Acilio, I'm not sure. We'll have to see. I think I read this one. Yeah, he's the anti-aura one. Bubble Lubba run aground? Is that a word, aground? 3 cost, 1 power, 5 health. Enters with a +1 counter, so you're getting 7 value for 3 resources. Kind of below rate. He also costs 1 to attack, so it's secretly 4 resources for 7 value. To put in perspective, chum is 10 value for 4 resources. So this is 3 points below the rate of chum. Action, remove a +1 counter from an ally you control, destroy an aura token. Go again. This could be relevant. I don't see the vision right now. Like maybe destroying an embodiment of lightning is important. Like, again, going back to the Acilio matchup, and maybe that's worth doing. I can't really think of any aura tokens that I'm like, um, I can't think of any aura tokens that are like that worth it for me to play this for. Fealty, I don't think that's worth it. This card kind of sucks ass. Yeah, I said embodiment of lightning because this is an incredibly high cost. It's an opportunity cost including this in your deck and playing it. Like both the inclusion in your deck is opportunity cost and the putting this into play is opportunity cost. So the payoff needs to be very high. It needs to be a big swing when this happens. Like if this just said destroy an aura, then I think that's a really good. It enters with a +1 counter. You don't need more. You can blow up more if you do that, but it innately comes with a +1 counter. Yeah, if this just said an aura, I think that would probably be worth it in some matchups, like blowing up their channel or something like that, some high impact aura. I don't think the disease tokens are high impact enough. I don't think inertia is high impact enough. Gray is pretty flexible with his turns where you can just play in such a way where the inertia doesn't do anything and you just play without an arsenal on the turn. Yeah, I guess there is that. So maybe you've had okay, okay. You know, you raise a good point. It's not once per turn. So you could play this. Where is she? Against like a Runechant stack deck that is just trying to build up to big thing. You're gonna have infinite time to get +1 counters. And then you can just get rid of all the +1 counters to blow up all their Runechants or something. But you probably already won the game in a matchup like that because you're playing Gravy Bones against the deck that's trying to stack up a bunch of Runechants. And you have an uncontested Moray. Like, that game's probably already over, right? Honestly, this probably would have been more relevant in LL for the gravy deck that some of them were playing. Vinset, yeah, sometimes maybe. You're kind of gambling if the rune chant mattered, because sometimes it just didn't matter. Like, they were going to make a rune chant on their turn anyways, so it just didn't affect anything. Sometimes it bricks their turn, so you're just kind of like hoping. Eh. I have not read this card. Gloves of the Azure Waves. Arcane Barrier 1, High Tide. If there are 2 or more blue cards in your pitch zone, this gets +3 defense and Blade Break. And it blocks for 0 innately. Pirate Equipment Arms. I gotta like blow my nose. One sec. One sec, chat. Where's my camera? Boom. Oh, much better. I mean, yes, this is a strict upgrade to no ring gloves, for sure. Didn't typically play no ring gloves, so it's an upgrade to nothing. I'm pretty sure we got AB feet right from the commons and rares, so like that's actually an upgrade because like I actually play AB feet. And how often am I? This is like a card where maybe against Runeblade, like CYB Gravy would have loved this. I'm gonna AB a bunch, play a CYB, and then block with this for 3. That's kind of sick. But it's pretty hard for you to get both of these effects off. In theory, you don't need to get the blues in your pitch through ABing. So there's theoretically a world where you play this so that way you can block for 3 against a deck by just pitching something on your opponent's turn. Like, I don't know, a movable plus something else. Not sure what that something else would be offhand, but yeah, the boots are pretty sick. They like untap an ally, I think. Those are just going right in my deck. Yeah, I can see that for Vincent. The problem there is like, even then, you're still going to want to play another piece of AB. Because against the matchup where I would do this, it's not like I'm going to want to get rid of this and go to AB 0. Which makes me go, when would I want to play this? We already talked about Cheating Scoundrel, TLDR. I think this card is pretty good. It'll probably see play. If you want my thoughts about it and you started watching now, just go to the beginning of the VOD. It was like one of the first cards. I think it was like actually second card we talked about. We talked about this, and then we talked about this, and then we went to the top. Don't ask why we started that way. Is that a way to remove at least one of the cards on the pitch so it loses Blade Break? Oh, you're talking about the previous comment. Some people said that you can potion a Deja Vu to remove the pitch after blocking, so it removes the Blade Break. Rules confirm that first. Huh. That seems pretty niche. You know, when is that happening? When is that happening that your opponent has a potion of Deja Vu in play? You AB enough to trigger High Tide and also defend with it on that turn. When the fuck is that happening? What is this Kano deck that's punching you in the mouth while also attacking me for 6 arcane? What the fuck is going on there? Okay, yeah, the Runeblade with potion of Deja Vu in play. Like, come on. I think we've already like won that game when our Runeblade players playing potion of Deja Vu for our gloves. Like, okay, you got us, I guess. I guess I will block with these. But yeah, go to the beginning of the VOD if you want to see these 2 cards. I think they're pretty good. Oh, this chest I want to talk about soon. This chest is great. Blessing of Bologna, 0 cost, yellow, light action aura, 3 block. Go again. Whenever a card is put into your soul, create a courage token. At the start of your turn, put this into your soul. This seems okay in some spots for Bolton. I'm sure the Bolton players will give you a better answer than I would on this. I don't play the deck. But this is a card that lets you extend. It's going to keep giving you the pump, so you're not dependent on your opponent blocking to get your go again. But it's pretty difficult for you to actually get rate out of this card. And there's probably just better things that you could do on one of those turns. Like, it's not like I really want to play this on a V turn, right? I'd rather just play an attack on a V turn instead of this. It is kind of nice that it's a card that can fuel your soul, but this doesn't seem like the way I want to fuel my soul. I don't know. I'd have to see an example of some spots where this is good. I can't really envision very many spots that are reasonable that this is good. There's definitely, like, we could construct hands that this is reasonable, but how often are you going to actually draw it up like that? Where that's just a magical Christmas land type of thing. So I'm not a believer in this card, but I'm willing to be proven wrong. Yeah, I think if this somewhere said charge, that would definitely make it more interesting. But in theory, when you're playing this card, you're going to be charging anyways, right? Because you're putting stuff into your soul. So I don't think that this needed to have charge to be reasonable. I think it's pretty interesting with cards that go to your soul that don't charge, though. Like the 0/4 on hit go to soul. That's pretty interesting. Like, I'm not sacking cards now. Yeah, I mean, I could see lines where you get 3 courage tokens, but like, how often are you actually getting to do that? Where you're, I went over the pirate cards. I just went over these in the past like 20 minutes, and I went over Cheating Scoundrel at the very beginning. So feel free to rewind to the beginning if you want to hear my thoughts on Cheating Scoundrel. Rewind to like 20 minutes if you want to hear my thoughts on these 4. And we're just doing the Majestics right now. Okay, this one is lit. I think this one changes everything for Vincent for that matchup. And you know the matchup we're talking. Vestige of, you know I'm going to pronounce this right, Flagellation? Flagellation. Flatulation. I'm going to start calling this Vestige of Flatulation. You can't stop me. Shadow Equipment Chest, 2 block Blade Break. Kind of nice that it's just decent statted blocking chest on top of everything else. The first time an opponent would gain health each turn, instead, you lose that much and create that many vigor tokens. I agree. 10 out of 10 name. Verdance was a very difficult matchup for Vincent because they would just keep gaining life and getting out of range. Now, if they want to gain life, it just instead converts into you ramping. That's really good. I think the real problem is going to be constructing your deck in such a way that you can take advantage of the vigor tokens. I think Cody was talking about it with some other cards on the podcast where maybe you play more 1 costs in the deck for a different reason. But if you do end up doing that, that then makes this chest far more reasonable. Well, it's lose a life. They instead of gaining, you lose and make $1. I think that's net positive for you. they don't get out of range of killing them, and you ramp. The problem is going to be, how do we utilize the ramp? Because ideally, you're trying to not actually pay for your shit in the deck. Like, I'm going to make Rune Chants and then cast my things for free from Banish. So I'm not actually spending money on any of that. So the deck just needs to be retweaked a little bit to actually utilize the Vigor tokens. Yeah, Galaxia is a good example, but that's not enough cards. Like, ideally, you probably want multiple cards that cost 1 in the deck. Yeah, I think Cody was talking about, like, using Tunic in the deck or something. So it'd be like, if my deck is built to use Tunic, then this is a very natural swap for that matchup. Like, my deck is already built around doing that, so. That's true, it also stops the pings. This card is fantastic. I think this probably flips the matchup. Sure, I don't think Levia is going to have a hard time figuring out how to use the Vigors. I'm talking about Vincent. Levia, I don't even give a fuck to think about that hero. It's so bad. Embalm. 0 cost, yellow, shadow action, 3 block. You may play this card from your banished zone. If you do, it gets Go Again. Put an attack action card with Blood Debt from your graveyard on the bottom of your deck, and it has Blood Debt. So one of the weaknesses that Vincent kind of had was a threat density issue, where in some matchups you just kind of run out of good attacks to throw at your opponent. And I don't necessarily think this fixes that problem, but it does help. Being able to put back, and also importantly, you're putting back whatever you think is your high impact Blood Debt attacks in the matchup. It's not just put back a vanilla card. Like, it's what one is very good in this matchup. Let me put that one back. So this theoretically could be pretty good. We'll have to see. I think this is one of those things where you probably don't put this in the deck unless you think it's a fatigue heavy meta, or if you know Verdance is on people's radar in that given meta, and you think people are going to be coming after you and trying to fatigue you. So it ends up being the same thing if you think fatigue is in the meta, but it's for a different reason. You think it's because people have your deck on their radar. Yeah, also does trigger Vincent, though I don't really care about that as much. I don't think triggering that is that important. Though I guess in the fatigue matchups it is kind of important, so they can't just AB everything. Your life total isn't relevant in the matchup anyways, so yeah, pretty good. Can pay for creepers off. Oh yeah, creepers with the chest is pretty good. Yeah, the new hands also, and the offhand. So like you do actually have some other ways on board to use the extra vigor tokens, which is nice. This is the card that we saw at the beginning of spoiler season, right? The element E-Strike. I think Lucas was talking about it, looping unhallowed rights. I could see that. I don't know how good that is. Like, what are you going to fatigue them? I don't know about that one, Chief. Element Strike, 0 cost, elemental attack action, 5 power, 3 defense. As an additional cost to play this, banish a card from your hand. If it's Earth, this gets +2, Lightning, Go Again, Ice, Dominate. So, kind of an elemental E-Strike. Seems okay. Kind of hard to judge this right now with our current card pool. I don't even know if I would play this in a Acilio. Yeah, colors seems pretty good with this, but then you have to play colors in your deck. Is that something that you want to do? Yeah, I could see this card be good. I don't have high expectations with this card in our current hero lineup. That's kind of how I feel about this. Yeah, currently, what, Jarl's the best at doing the dual element thing with this, right? And it'd be what? Plus, it'd be 7 dominate for him. Lexi would like it? Would she? I don't think Lexi would like this at all. I think this card's actively trash in Lexi. CC Lexi barely played any element cards. He played like a couple ice cards. And a couple lightning cards just because the lightning cards were just good. You would barely... This would probably have no text 90% of the time it's in your hand. And even then, it'd be like, what? 5 dominate? Who cares? Now that's saying something when you wouldn't even put it in Talishar Lexion. I've seen the dog shit you put in that deck. Evening. Crown at Home. Earth Equipment Head, Arcane Barrier 2. Destroy this, put a card from your arsenal on the bottom of your deck. If you do, draw a card and create a Spellbang Aegis token. Yep, it's Crown at Home. It's AB2, I guess. You'll probably play this in some of the matchups that... Oh, man, you unzipped him. Don't talk about Talishar Lexi. Oh, no. Even then, you barely played Lightning Surge. Like, I think my list only had 1 Lightning Surge in it. You barely played the card. It was like a glue piece. You mostly played Lightning Surge as a Codex target. And as a sideboard card for Dromai. Because, you know, that was part of the meta at the time. I don't know. This card's like maybe a reasonable sideboard card. I don't think this is really what you want to be doing in the deck. Why do we have another Earth channel? Jesus Christ. Channel the Skybreaker. 2-cost yellow, Earth action, aura 3-block. Go again. When this enters the arena at the beginning of your action phase, create 2 might tokens. And then it has the channel text on it. This card's pretty reasonable. Would have been better with Florian around, so that way you could have doubled the... Or not doubled, but got the additional might tokens. Channel Asparagus. I don't know about Asparagus. Channel Broccoli Sprouts. Adult Terra? Yeah, I guess. I mean, theoretically, Adult Terror should have been this set. I was so confident we were getting some of those guys because, like, they had so many plants in the set for those different guys, and then just nothing. Ooh, Channel Bonsai. I like that. But yeah, this card's reasonable. I don't think it's very good right now. We lost the hero that would have played it. Don't think you put this in Verdance. Don't think you put it in Jarl, but this will probably have a home in the future. Doesn't have the same ceiling that Channel Mount Heroic has. The 2-cost does create some interesting things with it. What would have been nice, too, is you could have played this, still had the dollar floating, and then swung Reaping Blade afterwards. You don't have to have an attack action card on the turn. And then you can go Grasp. Pitch another card. I don't know. Do some shenanigans. I don't know. Card seems okay. Yeah, 3-block Earth card is a pretty good floor. This would have been great in Florian. I think you would have played this in Florian. What is the art on this? Oh my god. This is gorgeous. I hate that I've been brain rotted so much by the internet over the past like year or so, where my brain instantly went to, is this AI generated? I hate that. This is gorgeous art. Who did this? Mario. Not familiar with him. All right, let's see. Ice Equipment Head, 2-block Blade Break. When this defends, freeze the attacking hero until the start of their turn. This means that their abilities can't be activated. That's pretty good. Kind of reminds me of the warrior Kabuto or whatever. Their hat of, I'm going to block with this and then shut you off. Yeah, pretty reasonable. Pretty good into gravy, right? Yeah. Yeah, this card is pretty good. No other deep thoughts about this. This card's very good. This will definitely see play in the Ice Heroes. Yeah, no Kiss of Death Black Widow for you, sir. Uh, it also prevents you from this, right? Oh, it's just activated. This is a passive. Okay, never mind. I was thinking it turned off your ability to play allies. Another ice channel. Channel Ice Lock Glaze. Zero cost ice action aura 3 block. Go again. Cards in opponent's arsenal are frozen while they control a frostbite or frozen permanence. Oh, that's pretty interesting. Not very good right now. I don't think this is like a play pattern that Jarl's probably going to lean into too much of, like keeping them off of Arsenal. This could have been interesting in the past with Icelander or Lexi. Oh man. Holy shit, playing this against Lexi back in the day? My god. I guess it's a good sideboard piece if Marlin enters the meta. Yeah, this just poops on Ranger. Prevents D-reacts. Yeah, but D-reacts aren't that great into the Ice Heroes. Like, who's playing D-reacts into Jarl, right? Stormweaver's Aegis. Lightning Equipment Chest 0 block. Arcane Barrier 1. Instant. Destroy this until the end of turn. Instant cards you own get instant. Discard this. Prevent the next 2 damage that will be dealt to you this turn. Well, that's very good against arcane decks. Yeah, good sideboard card. Nothing else to really say. Ranger poops on Ranger. Uh, yeah. Oh, this is the card people were talking about for Acilio. I've seen a lot of mixed opinions on this for Acilio. Mine's kind of in the middle. I just think this card's reasonable. Astrovolt Elemental. Red 0 cost lightning attack action card, 3 power, 3 defense. When this attacks, you can discard an instant card. If you do, draw a card and create an embodiment of lightning token. Um, I think this is ironically, not ironically, that's the wrong word. Coincidentally, is around the point that I stopped watching the most recent episode of Runaways Pod. Um, they were like in the middle of arguing about this, and Noah didn't quite see the vision for this card. I think what this card is good at is a couple different things. On your go off turn, it can help you dig to the pieces that you need. Like if you're not quite there yet and you're like looking for something specific and help you dig. But you can't see how people think it's bad. I don't think it's so much as a bad as a everyone's saying it's 11 out of 10, and I think it's like good. I don't think it's broken. I think it's good. And like I think Noah was kind of in that spot too of like it seems reasonable. Like he's slightly lower than me. I think it's good. He thinks it's reasonable. I think what this very frequently does is when you draw up and you look at your board and your hand and everything and you're like, I can't quite go off this turn, but I don't want to do nothing. Or I already went off and I want to keep going. And kind of carry my momentum. But like I don't want to like burn my embodiment of lightning that's in play. I don't want to burn all the shit that I have, but I still want to have a turn here. So I'm gonna do this, and it's gonna let me carry the embodiment of lightning over to next turn. So I'm not just like doing some random bullshit on this turn that doesn't actually matter. Like everything I do is just gonna get blocked by my opponent anyways. But I still want to have a turn here, if for no other reason than to make my opponent block so they don't attack me back and disrupt me on the turn I actually want to go off on. So like on your filler turns, I think this is pretty reasonable. And on your go off turn, I think it's okay. I don't think it's actually the most insane thing on your go off turn. I think it's just fine. but it's an extender, and extenders are good. It's definitely going to go in the deck. It's not like I'm saying this card is bad. I just don't think it's an 11 out of 10. It's kind of like earlier when I was talking about some other cards, and I was like, I'm just tempering my expectations for this card. This is the keep your fealties around card, right? Dynastic Diadem. Draconic Equipment Head, 1 block, Temper. Kind of weird that this says Temper. Oh, because it gets plus defense with Fealty. Fealty tokens you control can't be destroyed by opponent's effects. If you control 3 or more Fealty tokens, this gets +1. Yeah, pretty good card. I think what Fang actually needed was a card that said, let me like destroy this piece of equipment to keep my Fealty tokens around. Like, I work so hard for these Fealty tokens. I would like to be able to block on this turn, or I just don't have a Draconic card this turn. Let me just sack this piece of equipment to keep these Fealty tokens in play. Yeah, for the 1 week that Verdance is around, you've got game in that matchup. Huzzah. I don't know if it's favored, though. That seems kind of dubious to say that Fang is favored. Yes, the red line deck is favored into the arcane damage deck. That seems a little dubious. I'm willing to like see it and change my mind. That seems a little cope. Yeah, this card's reasonable. Like, you're going to sideboard it for the matchups that this text is relevant into. I guess I'll reserve, because this is like a part of a cycle. I guess I'll reserve judgment for this later. Oh, no. Is this just the Art of War for 5? Yeah, this is the Art of War. Okay. We're gonna talk about this and this at the same time. So we're gonna read this card and read that card and then start yapping. Art of the Phoenix War. 1 cost red Draconic instant. As additional cost, discard a Phoenix Flame. Draconic attack action cards you control get +1 this turn. Draw 2 cards. So it's Art of War for 5. Okay. We're gonna put a pin in that. And then we've got Tome of the Pandemonium. Chaos action, 2 block, banish the top card of each hero's deck. You may play them this turn. Go again. Why did we have the Great Book Burning? Just to put books back in the game. What was the point of any of that? Why? So, like, to give my opinion on these cards, I think they're obviously insane. Like, it's just Art of War. This card's insane. Is this better than Art of War for 5 because it works on your weapon? No. So it's just Art of War. Yeah, Assassin needed even more books. Getting to play 9 books just wasn't enough. Give them 12 books. And I think this card's very good. The downside is that you can hit defense reactions, but I think most of the time this is just going to be pot of greed for you, because you should assume that your opponent's playing good cards in their deck that you can play. Some matchups it's not going to be. Like, I don't know, Gravy Bones. Like, I literally can't do anything with this ally. Like, you just board it out. But I think in a lot of the matchups, this is just going to be pot of greed for you. I don't understand. Why are we fucking around with this? I thought we were done with offensive overlap, and now we're just putting it back in the game. I just don't understand the decision making behind that. Like, who sat down and said this is a good idea to put back in the game? Card is not unplayable. You're just fucking wrong. Or are you saying because that your locals play Gravy? I'm sorry. I just saw the last line. I was like, you're a clown. They can play the ally, but they can't do anything with it, right? Oh wait, no, the attacking isn't tied to your weapon or anything. It's just tied to the card itself. Yeah, they can just attack with your allies. No, never mind. Ignore that part of what I just said. Yeah, it still works there. Defensive overlap and Sage. Yeah, man, I'm hostile. I'm talking about fucking LSS bullshit. Of course I'm hostile. I'm triggered. Like this one, maybe I could look past. I like rolled the eyes like 360 in my head when I saw this, but whatever. It's random, I guess. It costs 1, I guess. Like, whatever. Why are we just putting Art of War back in the game? The only saving grace of this is just going to cause Phi to LL. But then what was the point of printing this card? Why are we printing a card just to say, get out of here, Phi? Because it's going to be unplayable after Phi's gone. I mean, I was fine with Fab with all of the books. I didn't actually hate when Fab was high power with all the books. I hated MST for how unbalanced that was, but I didn't actually mind when Fab had like decks got to have good turns. That wasn't necessarily my gripe. My gripe is we're going to ban all the books. Psych, we're reprinting new books. That's my gripe here. Like, why go back on that? I don't understand the logic behind that. And then the logic of this is like, well, it's just going to LL anyways, but then why bother printing the card? Like, this to me is almost the same as this card. Who is this for? Because once Phi LLs because of this is for no one. You need a specific card. If only there was a hero that said, get that specific card into your hand every turn. Oh, what a downside. Yo, what if they just banned Phoenix Flame? That'd be so troll. I don't know, man. I'm these cards are obviously fantastic, but I'm just very confused by the decision making. Also, Phi is never going to see play in LL. Get the fuck out of here. This is not an LL card. This you could convince me this is a Dromai card in LL. This was one that I read before and I thought was actually a rare. I thought this was in Sage. Uh, Rippling Wave, Cloaked Equipment, Mystic Equipment, Arms, 3 blocks, so the starts face down. And it has Blade Break. As an instant, you can pay 3 Mystic resources to turn it face up, and you may return a defending blue attack action card to its owner's hand. This card is insanely good. I don't know if it would actually see play in Enigma, but this card's very good. If they don't close the combat chain, you can pitch a Chi to flip this, block for 3, and then bounce a card that you defend with to your hand that already defended. So, like, I'm not bouncing a card that's on this chain link. I'm bouncing a card from a previous chain link back to my hand. Damage already happened, so I'm just going to put that card back in my hand. That's very powerful. Functionally, I'm just like getting the 3 block out of this. You know, like I'm just getting a free gloves that block for 3. And that's really good when you're trying to block to protect your board. So, very good. No, I wouldn't even say this is for go tall. I would say this is for go wide because I want my opponent to have multiple chain links to use this. Because I'm not trying to bounce a card that's on the current chain link. I'm trying to bounce a card on a previous chain link. If it was for go tall, I would play this. Oh, you're saying the okay. I follow what you're trying to say. Gotcha. Yeah, these are sick. Whispering Mist, 0-cost Mystic instant until end of turn, blue attacks and attacks with Ephemeral get +1. Seems okay. I don't actually know if we would have played this back then. Maybe in a specific version of Zen that made a shitload of tigers, this would have been good. But we already had so many anthems in that deck that maybe that's too many anthems, but it is a blue. I don't know. Seems like it would have been okay back then. You can rout your opponent. Oh, true. I don't have to do this while defending with it. True. I can flip it, and now it just face up, and later on I can block for 3 with it. That's true. Yeah, this is a good. That's a good way to. I'll attack with CNC. If you block with a blue attack, get CNC'd. That's pretty interesting. Good starter for Zen, maybe. I think it depends on if your Zen deck makes enough tigers for this to be good. Yeah. Like I can't really evaluate on the next thing's gonna be good with this, but I was just thinking about like how this would have worked with Zen. Havoc Wrap. Oh yeah, I think I saw this before. Chaos Equipment Chest, 1 block, action, tap, go again. It has Battle Worn. If this is tapped, cards cost 1 less to play. This doesn't untap during the end phase, and this gets at the start of your turn, destroy this. So it reduces the cost of everything by 1, including your opponent's cards for the next turn cycle. Oh my god, those gloves in new would be so cringe. Would it? Wouldn't they just want to leave the attack on the combat chain so they can banish it to their hero power? Bounce a blue popper? That's kind of lit. That's actually kind of lit. Too bad you can't play it in the other illusionists. Yeah, sure. Yeah, I don't know how to judge this equipment. I think this is good if you're playing in such a way where I don't give a shit about what my opponent does on their turn because whatever I'm doing is so much better than what you're doing. Like I'm gonna play a bunch of spikes or something. But then you're building your deck to take advantage of this, but then every other turn of the game your deck can't take advantage of this. That seems kind of dubious. Could just be a blitz thing, maybe. Like that one turn is good enough that I win the game, but blitz is not a real format, so hyperinflation? Is that a card? Glory Plate. Revered Equipment Chest, 0 block with Guard Will. It gets +1 for each toughness token that has left the arena this turn. Oh, that's pretty good. Go tall blocking piece. Yeah, seems pretty reasonable. Kind of a tall ask to not play Tunic or something busted like that, but it's a chaos attack. Oh my god, what was it? Hyper? 0-cost chaos attack, 4 power, 3 defense. When this attacks, cards cost 1 more to play this turn. That's so goofy. I mean, you would just not activate the chest, I guess? I guess that's go again. That's kind of weird. I'll think about this later. Buy the book. Blue 0-cost revered action aura 2 block. If you have less life than each other hero, you may play this as though it were an instant. Heroes can't draw cards during the action phase. At the beginning of your action phase, destroy this. Pretty good silver bullet card. Kind of annoying to play against. you're always going to have this active because the revered heroes suck, so you'll always have less life. They might as well just remove that line of text. Yeah, I mean, this card's pretty good against the decks that this has text into. This is why we're getting back the books. They printed the silver bullet we needed. The meta is going to be all tome decks and revered. Oh my god, yeah, this is so good against Marlin. Oh my god, they printed 2 just hater cards for Marlin. Pearl Amulet? Yo, you're cooking. Two-Faced. Reviled Equipment Head, 1 block, Blade Break. When this defends, the attacking hero draws a card. Then you look at their hand and choose a card. They discard the chosen card. Huh. That's interesting. This is a far more tame version of Fleshbag or Facepurg. As is tradition, Runeblade gets the best version of an effect. I don't think this is good. I'm gonna be honest. Jesus Christ! Wait, what is actually happening in this art? I'm so confused. What is happening? I understand there's a fist going through a face, but like, why is there a very cleanly cut top section of a person on a plank of wood? I'm so confused. Yeah, I see there's a bunch of body parts over here, but like, are they just spectating the brutalization of an already dead person? Whatever, man. Huh. It's art, you wouldn't get it. You know what? Fair, fair. You got me. It left me speechless. I don't know what to say about it. You got me. The name is on point. So this is the opposite of the revered one. So it's a 0-cost blue reviled action aura 2 block. If you have more life, you can play as those an instant. When enters, name a card. The named card can't be played from hand while this is in the arena. So it's the mech card, null time zone, but worse because it only stays in play for 1 turn. Eh. What is this? Helm of Safe Haven. Generic head 2 block Blade Break. When this defends, reveal the top card of your deck. If it's an action card, add it to the chain as a defending card and discard a card. Huh. Wait, is this lit in gravy? I mean, this is just worse than the new Necromancer 2 block headpiece, I think. Maybe? This actually might be lit in gravy. Oh, only attack action. Never mind. Okay, are there any other attack actions that there's like value on in getting it into your grave? It does let you discard a card, so you do get to discard an ally to do this. What else cares about putting shit in the grave? Sirens? Yeah, that's pretty good. Fiddler's Green. Block with the thing on top of your deck, discard Fiddler's Green. What about the opponent's turn? Oh, the leave him speechless card? Yeah. Yeah, that'd be pretty cringe. Oh, this is interesting. I think this is actually pretty good. Command and Conquer, 2-cost, red, 6 power, a generic attack action, 3 block. Defense reactions can't be played to this chain link. When this hits a hero, destroy all cards in their arsenal. I mean, it's alright. It doesn't have Go Again. And yeah, it's like, it's fine. Enough of those memes. Yeah. Let's go over what the highlights probably are. Honestly, a lot of these I think are not that great right now. Like this, if Katsu gets good. This when we get the new hero. Oh, you can't. See, one sec. Blunton will be good. I'm just assuming the Teklo cards are still bad. Rune Snare's pretty good, but it's a sideboard card. Grimoire's very good. Man, it's just a lot of these cards are like sideboard good. Cheating Scoundrel, I think, is good. Vestige, sideboard good. Sideboard good. Very good for Acilio, very good for Phi. These are probably like 2 of the best card Majestics in the set, honestly. Yeah, like I have nothing against Teklo being good. I just assume it's not good. None of this screams, holy shit, Teklo's time to shine. Fucking prove it, man. Yo, the bow's lit. You should spec on these. I mean, this is sideboard good. Yeah, nothing. Is there anything that like screams, holy shit, this is good to you guys? How many points is Acilio at right now? Yeah, the tome seems really, really good. The Acilio card, Astroval Elemental, seems really good. Those seem like 2 of the highlight Majestics to me. The rest just seems kind of mid. Which rare Evo? What's the name? There's just so many of these are like either for something that we don't have yet or are sideboard cards. Like, God, are like, yeah, and Blunton. Like, I feel like half of these cards are just sideboard cards, which is fine. I'm just trying to think of like cards that I'm excited to open a pack. You know what I mean? Evo Beta Base. This whole cycle? Yeah, seems okay. This looks so goofy with the mustache poking out. He should have had armor on the mustache. Thoughts? You gotta protect that thing. He works hard for it. That shit's gonna get singed. 225. Yeah, it's gonna stick around for quite a while. Longer here. uh, the new Herald. I haven't read through the commons and rares yet, but I am kind of familiar with that one. I think it's pretty good. This one, right? I think this card's good. This effect is like stupid good. Like I can either use this to save my card from getting popped, or I can use this to protect one of my angels. I was talking about it before, being like, I kind of want to put Fearless Confrontation in Prism, and then they just gave us Fearless Confrontation. Like, this card's great. And like, we had this whole conversation earlier, guys. What is above rate? 2 cards for 7 value? Now we're talking. And it's a yellow 7? That's so good. This card's going straight in my Prism deck. Like, it's a sideboard card that you get to main board, which is so good. I haven't cut Fearless from my deck, but that's also because I don't really play Fearless, so didn't have to cut it. Yeah, this card's incredible. I think I'm gonna play 3 of this card, to be honest. I might not play all 3 in the main board. We'll see what sideboarding looks like, but I'm just gonna make this a part of my resource base. So it's just like basically always in the deck. Because even in the non-popper matchups, it's still gonna be relevant for protecting an angel. They attack my angel with a 4. I protect it with this. I call them Bozo. I win game. But also, everyone always plays some number of poppers into you, so it's going to be relevant in every single matchup. And the floor is you throw a 2 for 7. That's still very good. Yeah, but she's going to rotate soon. I think she's at like 800 points or something. She might be legal for Pro Tour. Oh, maybe I just go back to playing Prism. 850. I said like 800, right? Check the tapes. You're gonna have to start playing 10-foot talls against Prism. Yeah, Prism and Marlin are kind of on my radar of things I want to play. No, it's just water. I usually drink out of a oh god, what is it called? Um, oh my god, I can think it was Anchor. That's not their company. Um, man, I can't remember the name of it. It's a water bottle that kills all the bacteria in it, but I left it at work. How long have we been streaming? What time? Wish it would show me on Streamlabs. 10-foot tall them twice. You ain't hitting with anything today. 2 hours? Okay. 2.5. Oh man. Almost 3 hours. Okay. That makes sense. I was getting kind of eepy. That did not make Guardian look strong. That made Guardian look like they have another reason to cope. Guardian just sucks ass. Guardian just doesn't do anything inherently good. Their whole the design of the class just revolves around wearing your opponent out and winning through your opponent sucking or having suboptimal play of some sort. Like, nothing they do is inherently good. Your all has a couple interesting things here and there, and they have a couple individual cards that are like, yeah, that's kind of impactful, like Crippling Crush. But that's it. That's not enough to win a game. Victor can at least win through value, but he needs his opponent to play the game with him. It's kind of similar to the problem that Puffin has, where like he needs his opponent to be attacking and blocking with him. I think they just need to take the class a different direction. And I think that's what they were trying to do with Super Slam, taking the Guardians in a different direction completely. To illustrate my point of Guardian sucking, since Fang won the Pro Tour, Guardian has topped 0 Pro Tours or Worlds since then. Guardian was never good. Crown of Seeds was good. Crown of Seeds was the hero. I think they should continue going down the path, though, that they started with Super Slam with Guardian, of kind of reinventing the class and giving them a new identity. I think that's what they need to do to make the class good. Because just block slop Guardian isn't good. The only time that ever wins is the meta is so down-powered that block slop is good, and other decks block slop better than Guardian. The Guardians hate to hear it, but we saw that at the Sage event. Warrior was better at block slop than Guardian was. Well, that's why I'm saying I think they need to continue down that path of the design space of them, continue exploring it, because I don't think they're there yet. I don't think Pleiades or Lyeth are there yet. I think that's obvious. But I want to see them explore that some more, because those are two very interesting Guardians from a design perspective. Taking the class out of just block slop decks and trying to do something proactively interesting. That's why your Jarl is also potentially a little interesting. He is trying to proactively do something interesting. But every single Guardian just evolves into block slop because they don't have anything good. There's nothing good about the class. Yeah, I did just say that. There are other decks that block slop better than Guardian. It's not even the best at its own niche. Guardian is not the best at anything that it does. Disruptive deck, you'd play Assassin. Block slop deck, you'd play Teklo or Warrior. Big attacks, you'd play Brute. It does everything worse. The only thing that it tries doing is winning through attrition, and it sucks at it. It's not a real strategy anymore. People have gotten better at the game, and we've gotten more tools to deal with those kind of strategies. Talk a lot of shit on Guardian, but I want them to be better. Oh, we missed 2 cards. Oh, wait, why is Reinar here? Huh? What's this guy doing here? Bro thinks he's part of this. Okay, we got 2 more cards. Oh yeah, I saw this one. This is the one that like cares about your weapon size. Rockyard Rodeo. We gotta look at this art. Is that a chocobo? Legally distinct chocobo, you say? This card's power is equal to the highest base power of weapons you control. That seems pretty good. Who needs rock? I'll rodeo you. What is this artwork? Shit's going crazy. Is that the guy from Overload? I think it is. Anyways. 0 cost, generic action, 3 block. Remove all energy counters from target non-hero permanent. I make that many gold tokens, we're so back! Anyways. No go again. What does this do? Oh, it's what? Tunic? There's like another card that has energy counters, I think. It's like a mech card, I think? No, Constellas, that's what I was thinking of. Oh, these have energy counters. Didn't know that. So 3 cards. Oh, I guess Blaze. They gave us the anti-Blaze card and then didn't give us Blaze. Why? No! Can't target Blaze! No! Unlucky. I was sure that we were getting Blaze, Terra, and something else as an adult hero. I forget what it was. There's like another hero that we were like waiting on getting an adult for, right? There was another hero. Maybe I'm wrong. Yeah, like Terra and Blaze would have been sick for us to get. Said we got Depression. Scurv? Benji? I guess. You just want a Talishar deck. Data Doll? Listen. I also really thought we were going to get a macro in this set for Silver Age. The way they were talking about the format, being like, you guys have no idea, like, you guys weren't playing the real Silver Age, everything's going to change when you get this set. I was like, man, we must be getting a macro or something, like something that completely fundamentally changes the game. And then it was just like a normal Flesh and Blood set that had some cards of varying quality. Sigh. On that positive note, I think I am probably going to end stream here. We'll do the rares and commons, I don't know, later this week. Yeah, Sage Macro would have been cool. That would have been like, that would have actually gotten me really interested in the format. I mean, I don't even have anything to stream in 14 right now. I finished doing the raid series already, so I have nothing to do. I'm just doing crafting and gathering right now. I'm trying to get all my relic weapons for crafting and gathering, which is fucking boring. No one wants to watch me fish. No one wants to see spreadsheet gaming. I guess I could stream my raid reclear. Any new jobs? I mean, not since last time we talked. We're near the end of the expansion right now, so we will be getting new jobs in probably like a year, because we have 7.4 just came out. So then we still have 7.5, which happens right around Yokohama, I believe. Like right after, maybe. And then that's the last patch of the expansion. So probably like 3-4 months after that, we'll get 8.0. I'm curious what we're going to get for jobs. Like, I can't even fathom what we're going to get. It's going to be a tank and a physical ranged, I think. But I can't even, like, think of a job in Final Fantasy that would make sense for them to do. Oh, we're actually going to get a new job in 7.5 that's a, like, isolated job that you just do content for it with other people. Also on the job, Beastmaster. It's like its own little side content thing. We don't know anything about it, though. Literally going to be coming out soon. We know nothing about it other than exists. But people actually want to watch me do Final Fantasy 14 raids when they come back up on Tuesday. I think it's Tuesday. I assumed no. Oh man, let me see if I still have it up. One sec. Okay, this shit was so ass to do. Okay, so normally for the raid bosses, it'll be like, for this tier, there were, like, the guides were like, I don't know, like 10 to 20 slides explaining how to do that fight. Of like the guide of like what strategy people are doing in Party Finder. The final boss of this tier, one mechanic in the fight had 40 slides. This shit was so ass to do. This is a 4-minute long mechanic, and the entire mechanic is summed up by remember this later. This will be important later, sums up the entire mechanic. So, first, clone spawn of the boss, and you have to remember if they spawned in cardinal positions or intercardinal positions. Remember this later. Then you get tethered to things, and you're supposed to swap around your tethers until you have based on where you're based on the strategy, you're supposed to either have a stack marker like this or a defamation marker like this. Remember that for later. Then clones of the boss appear again, either making it so the south side of the arena is safe or the north side of the arena is safe. Remember that for later. Then you do the tether swaps to get the correct thing. Then you have to dodge into the north or south, depending on where was safe. Then you have to run to these platforms. By the way, if you don't get there in time, the floor falls out and you die. Then you have to look at which tower you're standing in. Are you in a wind tower, an earth tower, a darkness tower, or a fire tower? Then you need to see if either the supports or the DPSs get hit by holy damage. If you're standing in a darkness tower or a wind tower, you can't get hit by holy damage twice or you die. So in this example, the tank is in a darkness tower and he gets hit by holy damage. So this person has to trade places with him. Then, once you trade places, you have to remember which tower you had. Remember that for later. Now we finally start resolving all the shit that we had to remember for later. Those defamation markers go off in order by the people that got them. Remember, we had to remember intercardinal or cardinal save first. Then you resolve your stacks. You go here to resolve your stacks. Then you resolve the other defamations. Then you resolve the other stacks. Then you go back to your towers, resolve your towers. Each tower does a different thing. If you have wind, it knocks you to the other side of the arena. If you have fire, you can't move or you die. If you have earth, an AoE is going to happen where the earth was, so you have to get out of the way. If you have darkness, you have to point a laser outside of the arena, and the healer has to cleanse that person of a debuff or they die. Then baited AoEs happen on these players. So there's a pattern where you can stand and it just resolves the entire baited mechanic for you. You have the darkness player go here. Defecation. If you stand like this, the cones just resolve themselves of the baited AoEs. Then you have to remember that these from earlier, one of them is going to teleport to the platforms you're standing on. And then he's going to, okay. How do I say this? One of these is big circle AoE. The other two are big cones, pointing in different directions. One of the cones is going to jump into a wormhole, and you have to remember that for the very end of the fight. Then the other two will jump onto one of these platforms, and you have to remember which platform the big circle AoE jumped to. I can't find it anywhere. The big circle AoE jumps to, because that one won't be safe later. Now, the clones resolve from all the way on slide 2. So we have to resolve our stacks and spreads here. And that happens a bunch of times. We have to remember which one the big circle jumped into. And then we have to remember where this cone was. It's just a big fucking memory game. It's an absolute shit show resolving this mechanic. It's just all remember this for later. Remember this. It's literally pitch stacking the fight. Let me show you what it looks like in execution. One sec. Oh, someone made a sim for it. Didn't know that. We'll just go with Mr. Happy, I guess. Let's see. If you're in the fire tower, you get a debuff that says if you move, you die. So you have to stay perfectly still. You shit your pants. Okay, so he starts casting Idyllic Dream. The mechanic starts. I want to put this on like super fast speed so you can just see it even faster. Playback speed 1.5. So see these spawn. You have to remember which one you're tethered to. Then you go to a specific spot based on where you're tethered. But this doesn't happen now. They disappear.
First stack of the South Group. First stack of the South Group. Northeast, northwest later. Northeast, northwest. Third stack clockwise. Third stack clockwise. Northeast, northwest, third stack clockwise. It's defamations first later. That'll be the first one. Northeast, northwest at the end. Go. Light parties. Big damage. Make sure you get heals and then spreads. have the Wind Tower if I don't get Holy. DPS Holies. This was Defamation's first. Defamations start cheating outward. First stack. Second Defamations. Second stack. On your sides. Aim your Dark Towers out. Aim your Wind Tethers in. I'll call the move for Earth. Move for Earth. If you are on Earth, move. Watch the Earth. Winds north. True north. Good job.
Watch the suck.
Yep, watch the suck. This was northeast, northwest safe. So the A1 is a north-south. Swallowed north-south. East-west will be safe later. East-west, it'll be north and south later. This is cardinal reenactment. Cardinal reenactment. Go. Cheat slightly away. Four. This will be north-south. North and south on 4. North and south of the ad. This is inter-cardinal reenactment. Inter-cardinal reenactment. Slightly offset. Slightly away.
East-west.
East-west. East-west. East-west. East-west. Big mid. Make sure we survive this. Tank Buster. Tank Buster. Tank Buster. Do the last mechanic. Away from the tanks. Watch the turn. It did not turn. Do not get hit by the
Looks,
Buster.
I forgot I was muted.
Buster.
Trying to not have an echo.
Fox
I'm just
twos.
gonna mute the video. And now the mechanic is finally over. You've resolved idyllic dreams. You had to remember all that shit just to resolve like 30 seconds of mechanics all at once. It was so ass doing that mechanic. I hated it. And then the rest of the fight after that is just a victory lap of just kill the boss, kill the boss, kill the boss. That shit was so ass to prog. Okay. Anyways, we're going to do another one of these later this week, going over the commons and rares and going to give the first impressions of everything else. Anyone else that's still here, thank you so much for watching. Have a great rest of your night. I'm going to go get some food, I think, and play some Genshin Impact. Have a good night, everyone.